What's up, guys? My name's Anthony and we are back with another cryptocurrency news video. Today we're going to focus on two things. First, we'll define and explain a powerful investing strategy that can help you in times of a recession in both the cryptocurrency and the stock market over the next couple weeks and potentially months. Then I'm going to explain why Bitcoin could become the safe haven asset we all thought it was if things continue going the way they are going. But before we begin, I want to thank all our new and returning subscribers for your continued support. If you're passionate about developing a diverse investment portfolio and interested in learning how to responsibly incorporate cryptocurrency into your overall wealth building strategy, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right portion of your screen and activate that bell notification so we can stay connected. Let's go. First, I just want to give you an update on the Bitcoin price as we were coming down to this historical level of support on the weekly candle during my last video, and we actually broke it during the time of recording and in between that time when I was editing and posting. And since then, you can see we have risen back above it, so that is huge for us. So this historical level of support did hold. So at the moment, that is a good thing, but I'm not entirely convinced that we will not head lower, at least temporarily. You can see we bounced down once, then we came back up, but there's nothing saying we won't bounce back down again. So here it talks about how the stock market had one of its best one-day rallies since 2008. But one thing I want to point out is this fails to mention that rally came on the heels of one of the worst days since, I believe, 1987 or certainly 2008. So we are seeing volatility up and down. If you're wondering why I'm talking about the stock market, is because the global economy is really all connected and a lot of these markets are acting in lockstep with one another for the time being. But you know what this is talking about here in this article, and I'm really just going to speak off the title, but it talks about how it was a dead cat bounce. And without going too deep into what a dead cat bounce is, basically what it's saying is the market appears to have recovered, but it doesn't mean that it will continue to move upwards or that the bear market is over. And in fact, I do think it's possible that we could be headed for a longer term bear market and potentially a recession right now. I just want to make it clear to you that this downtrend in the stock market and certainly in cryptocurrency, and you can see we're looking at Bitcoin here. Again, they're all kind of tied together and moving together right now, so I'm talking about them interchangeably. But I want to tell you that the downtrend, you're not going to like hearing this, but the downtrend may not be over and these prices could get lower. So hopefully you haven't deployed all your capital and you still have some cash on the side. And the first thing I'm going to say to you is make sure you have some cash on the side. Hopefully you just got paid on Friday and you haven't invested all of that money into the markets yet or spent all that money in general. And what you're looking at, and this was in my thumbnail, you're looking at November 2018 to where we started to kind of rally and we hit our bottom at December 16th. So you are looking at over a month's worth of downward movement after the initial hard down plunge. And if you were in crypto back then, this was right after that 2 or 3 month period where we were just cruising sideways and really consolidating, and then we just fell off of a cliff. This could be considered a dead cat bounce. So we've got this strong downtrend, and then you might say to yourself, wow, it's over. You got this strong bullish engulfing candle, and then we continue to make our descent lower. And of course, on December 14th, 2018, we did hit that low around $3,200. So what I'm saying to you is this current price action we're seeing here may not be the bottom. So let's talk a little bit more about scaling in and what that is. So scaling in is a trading strategy that involves buying shares as the price decreases. To scale in means to set a target price and then invest in volumes as the stock falls below that price. So you're investing at multiple different times. So for me, I invested in Bitcoin. I said this in my last video, but I invested a few times on Thursday. Once when it hit 6,000, and then again when it fell below 5,000. And right now, I'm waiting to see what this thing does, and I'm going to be watching it closely. So in order to pull this off, and what I really want to say to you is don't invest all your money at once. And I think young investors, I know I myself did this a year ago, they tend to see the price fall, and then what happens is they invest all their money at once. which granted $4,900 or $5,000 Bitcoin in the future, in the long run, hopefully will be an amazing price and you'll be really happy with that investment. But if it then falls to $3,000, $3,200 or $2,700, I'm going to show you something on the charts where I think it could fall in a minute. If it ends up falling there and you have no money, trust me when I say you're going to be kicking yourself. I'm doing this with the stock market too. I've been buying it slowly, but I'm not convinced it's done yet. And I still have money on the side, and I'm going to be just putting that money in steadily and slowly as these prices decline. I don't invest when we see the up days, or if I do, I invest very, very little. But right now I am waiting, and I'm going to be scaling in as this thing moves down. And let me show you a little bit about what I'm seeing here. And this is the daily chart, but you could see it even better on the 4-hour chart. So what I want to show you here from this point is a potential bearish pennant, right? You can kind of see that. It's very loosely drawn right now. But what this is a bearish chart pattern. It's a short-term pattern, and what this will most likely signify, it will be another downward breakout if we're just to analyze this. The other thing you could potentially call this is a symmetrical triangle, and symmetrical triangles generally follow the pattern statistically of the trend that they were in coming into it, which would also suggest a move downwards. So some things to consider. I'm not trying to be overly bearish, but I am trying to be real with you as always. And the piece of news that came out today that I'm probably going to talk about a lot deeper in another video tomorrow or the next day, but the Federal Reserve slashed the interest rates to 0 as part of a wide-ranging emergency intervention. This is the first time the Fed took dramatic steps like this since 2008. We haven't had a 0% interest rate in a very long time, and we're doing that in the face and in reaction to the effects that the coronavirus has had on the U.S. economy and, of course, the global economy. So this is a strong reaction. It is something that I think at this point is safe to say was done. They'll say it was done as a precaution, but I think we are approaching a moment now where Powell has done this in, I'm going to say the word desperation, to try and prop the economy up and, of course, keep things looking like they're in better shape than they are. But this could potentially be bullish for Bitcoin. And this article came out a few weeks ago, but I just want to read a little bit of this to you, just give you some food for thought. And then please comment below on what your thoughts are as far as if Bitcoin could become a safe haven asset at some point in the future. So basically what this says is interest rates around the globe are going to 0, and it's bullish for Bitcoin. Again, this was weeks ago, so this was kind of like a pretty strong prediction here, according to Morgan Creek Capital Management founder and CEO Mark Yusko. He also noted the recent price drop should not bother investors, and they should focus on purchasing more. This is in regards to Bitcoin. Again, and he said, it's massively bullish in regards to interest rates going to 0. In a world of rogue central bankers, just listen to this. In a world of rogue central bankers, Bitcoin is king. Interest rates around the world are all going to 0, all of them. It's all because of demographics, deflation, and too much debt. You can't pay back debt. You can't default on the debt. So you've got to inflate it away by devaluing your currency. And this is done through quantitative easing. Again, I'm going to get deeper into this in a future video, so make sure to subscribe if this sounds interesting to you. And if you've been reading about the news also, central banks are printing right now as we speak, again, to prop the economy up and to try and weather this storm that is the coronavirus, which has been so crazy right now. And if I could just speak to you a little bit about my experience with it, I'll tell you, I'm an educator. My school district is closed now for the foreseeable future, which will be not just a few days, but potentially a week, multiple weeks. I know different districts around the U.S. are closed until April 20th. New York City schools just announced that they're going to be closing until April 20th. And that is a big deal. That's going to seriously hurt the economy. And as people practice this social distancing that's been suggested, meaning they're staying home and trying to avoid large gatherings, that's going to really hurt the entertainment industry. It's going to hurt the travel industry and really have an impact on just so much because people won't be spending money. So that's part of the reason I say this has been done out of desperation. But please take, wherever you are in the world, because I know it's a global issue, please take the coronavirus seriously. Take care of yourselves. Try and avoid those large-scale places. And when you do leave the house, second you come back, sanitize your hands, wash your hands. Try not to touch your face while you're out and about. But I do want to thank you for watching. Like the video if you found value in the content, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.